Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the You Got a Minute Fan Podcast. We got a very eventful podcast headed towards you. I am your host, the commish, R.C. Carlton, and I am joined by Rodney Allen Sandridge Jr., the government name.
All right, first of all, it's Rodney Allen Sandridge, not Sandridge. Second of all, don't you never in your life call me by all my names, man. Stop that.
I didn't see the extra R.
Cut it out.
Sandage.
Well, it's a slave name, bro. We went over this on the Martin versus Malcolm podcast. It's a slave name. Yes.
Sandridge. It should be Sandridge. Somebody dropped the R somewhere. Your old kinfolk couldn't spell. This happens to black people. This is a Black history lesson for y'all. Our people couldn't spell or could read it right. So sometimes the the letters would be left out, and we put it on legal documents, and that would become our name on birth certificates.
My God, the white people that we are named after live literally 2 blocks away from our granddad's property that they gave us. So
they probably couldn't.
Sandage is the right way. Oh no, they definitely read it because they made it. It's a whole road named after.
Ain't no Sandage. Sandridge is what it should be.
We still got a plot of the plantation, man. So like, I'm pretty sure it's accurate. It's better than being the. Oh, you know what? I can't say that word. I'm not gonna do that. We have a family podcast.
Dave. I meant Dave. I didn't think. I'm not saying that you could say something about trans. I'm just saying Dave's in trouble for saying things. That's why. Just clarify for the audience that we are.
I will say some wild shit though.
Yes, you will. All right, let's go to last night's game. Big rain delay, but the Bills do come out victorious. Do you think that game was more about how good Buffalo is or where the Chiefs are right now?
So my 4-year-old wore my ass out yesterday, and I was asleep by 8. I think he actually got up and watched some of the game himself and then came upstairs later and went to sleep beside me. But from what he told me this morning, sound the alarms. The Kansas City Chiefs are in trouble. He said he listened to my podcast and his dad don't know what the fuck he talking about, so he's disowning me. I don't know what to make of this, bro. I mean, the Chiefs are a good team, and I said on my gambling podcast, historically speaking, they've been great against the number, which I correlate with the team being pretty damn good. So this was a test, and they kicked in the door, waved the 4-4, and slung Patty around, and geez, I see people blaming it on the rain. I saw Patty Mahomes throw for 300 in the fucking snow. I don't want to hear that. They just got to do better.
I think a lot of it, like I said, it's the law of averages. It's attrition. It's what the NFL wants with parity. It is so hard for a team to stay on top. I used to say this about basketball all the time. When you make these deep runs in the playoffs, usually 3 or 4 deep runs, by that 4th deep run or by 4th season, that's the season where everything starts breaking down. And I think that happens. I think that happens from a motivation standpoint. I think that happens where the dogs are on your heels, the teams that you could kind of like they would come back on these teams too all the time. That's kind of how they played. But can you play that kind of game all the time, year after year? A lot of these tip passes that we're seeing are not even Patty's fault, but it's just like bad luck. The same no-look passes that were being caught are now getting pick sixed or they're getting intercepted. And some of it's that, and the defense is just terrible. Wow, John Gruden is out as the Raiders coach.
God damn, that was quick.
Bro, I didn't know they were going to hit him like that. I thought they were going to suspend him.
Hey, look, I was about to take the Broncos in -3-2 just because I knew something was coming out of the pipeline. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. We'll get to this later. Let's get to it later. I'm going to stay it for later. But ain't no way.
It's just like a pressure. He's resigning. He must know there's even more in there. Good God. And not
resigning. You know what it is.
Cancel. Oh my God. Somebody on the internet said cancel culture wins again. But bitch, sometimes you deserve to be canceled. Like, I'm not for cancel culture, but if you say some dumb shit, you shouldn't be representing a company, but let's not get ahead of it, I guess. But where do you think Kansas City goes from there? Well, yeah, where do you think Kansas City goes from here? How do you think it finishes for them?
Well, first and foremost, the fall guy got to be Spagnuolo. Goodbye, defensive coordinator. Secondly, you bring a guy in that's going to rally the troops on that side of the ball. And then you just a lot of times with offense, you can fix offense by simplifying it, like getting back to the basics. Defense is a little bit more complicated, and it definitely needs a modified scheme to accommodate this new age of NFL. And I feel like Spagnuolo, the game just is passing him by a little as a defensive coordinator, and we saw this with my guy from the Eagles. He used to be the coach for the Lions. I'm drawing a blank, but he went through kind of the same thing where when they went to the Super Bowl, defense was really good. And then after that, it was like he couldn't find a corner to cover to save his life. And he just couldn't scheme a defense that was worth a damn. And I feel like that's what we're seeing out of Spagnuolo right now. And it's just, he's got to be the fall guy. Also, I just want to ask you real quick because I was listening to what you were saying. So you are saying that it's hard to be consistent at a high level for an extended amount of time in any sport, but definitely basketball and football, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, in
So
general,
so
it's hard to keep duplicating
I get,
yourself. But I think,
so can I ask you a question? How does Tom Brady do it every single year? How did the Patriots do it every single year? They were fucking cheating. That's why they were cheaters, bro. They were cheating. You can't be that good that long without cheating. Just say it. I just want everybody to admit it. It's not a conspiracy theory. Literally, in the history of sports, you have never seen a dynasty like that post desegregation. You have never seen that. Like before you allow black people into these sports leagues, then yeah, a team could do whatever the hell they want to do for X amount of years. But you have never seen a team 20 fucking years. Most of my life has been dominated by Tom Brady, and everybody thinks I'm fucking crazy, but he never loses consistently. And yet he's the only one that's above the rules. How, Sway?
If you do recall, another frame. I mean, the 49ers were good for like a decade. They didn't go to
a decade, 20 years, bro. Joe Montana, 20 years. He was awful. He was awful. Tom Brady is better at 45. I can't make sense. In the show. I'm out of here, man. I can't.
Why does that go back? Why you gonna turn something like this into Brady? Yeah, nothing to Brady.
Because we're criticizing Patty. Patty's a baby, and this dude Brady is an old man. He's still good.
I mean, they did have a 10-year. There was a 10-year run, but they didn't make Super Bowl. But it was 9 years. It was a run, but they didn't make Super Bowl. I mean, they still were winning 11, 12 games and going to the championship games and all that stuff. But they, I don't think Patty's ever gonna get to the point. I think if Patty Mahomes is on your team, you're probably gonna make the playoffs, don't you? No matter what, almost.
Not if your defense giving up fucking 40 points a game.
They're so bad. They're so bad. Oh, they are so bad. But I do think this is kind of the crowning moment for the Bills. They were my preseason pick to go to the Super Bowl. I think they have. I mean, I think there's just a strong team. The defense has stepped up. Josh is on another level now. He's following up what he did last year. I don't know if he'll ever numerically hit it, but he's basically starting to play back on that level, and he can use the run game when he wants to. I think that the Chiefs are honestly not the Chiefs. The Bills are the team to beat in the AFC, and then when you get to the Super Bowl, and I don't think it'll be the Cardinals, but if you were to face the Packers or you were to face, I won't even say my team, but if you were to face the Rams or the Cardinals or something like that, it's just kind of a toss-up. But I think the Chiefs, I keep saying the Chiefs, the Bills are that team in the AFC right now.
I'll apologize to Sean McDermott if they win 13 games this year.
Okay, they definitely can win 13 games out of 17. Yes, they definitely.
All right, that's right, and that's why I set the bar low. I will apologize.
And the mystery, and even if they win the Super Bowl, the mystery of the season will be how did the Steelers beat them?
Hell yeah! How?
Nobody will ever understand how the Steelers beat them because they are awful. They are awful. All right, we had boxing is back. I say that sarcastically, but it was a beautiful night.
Man.
It reminded me of when I was a kid and those Saturday nights, way before the internet, but those Saturday nights and Sunday mornings where boxing was king. And kind of sad it had to be, not sad, but it's kind of bittersweet that it had to be a fight like that that was like such a spectacle, but not necessarily technically, if you're a boxing fan, a great fight? I know you got a lot of opinions about this.
Mhm. Um, First and foremost, I wanted to ask you when you said it reminded you of a great time of boxing. It didn't remind you like Thriller Manila, any of those great heavyweight fights that they kept trying to fucking compare it to.
A great time during my lifetime. Now,
Oh my god!
I only talk to you about boxing now because I
Yeah.
love boxing, especially the history of boxing. Boxing and
Mhm.
baseball, which I don't talk about a lot on the page, but boxing and baseball are a part of Black history. That's how important
They
those
are.
sports were at
Yeah.
that time. So just they were so important to our culture and they meant so much. Like things that
Mhm.
happen in those sports are just legendary in Black history. But and just the greatness of so not nothing with Ali that I watched 100 times, I had to go back to, but maybe some like maybe some Sugar Ray Leonard fights, maybe Riddick
Yeah.
Bowe,
Right.
Riddick Bowe and Evander
Yeah.
Holyfield, even
I
Tyson
just
and Holyfield. It kind of had that kind of thing to it, but not the classics of all time. I wouldn't even put that
I was
in the category of Hagler and Hearns. I wouldn't even put it in that category.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was so upset when they kept doing that. But I mean, anytime you can get mainstream exposure for a sport like boxing is good. But with that comes the idiots, like
Yeah.
and I complained about this when Mayweather and Pacquiao fought. Like I'm glad it's on ESPN. I'm glad everybody's talking about it, tweeting about it. It's all over Bleacher Report. I'm getting 6, 7 notifications every other hour about the fight. That's great. But then you get people just their opinions and saying stupid stuff. It was the type of fight that if you follow both guys in their career, you understand that this was how it was going to play out. This was the climax. You had a guy who has gotten through his career by knocking people out left and right. And Deontay Wilder, yes, he's only got one punch. He's limited with his skill, but he's also generally been the taller, bigger fighter in those fights as well against a guy that he's honestly never faced before in the sense that Tyson Fury is bigger, he's more skilled, and he's taller. And I think all that just kind of weighed on Wilder. And he tried to bulk up to handle Tyson Fury's size, but that's just not in his DNA. Like he couldn't sustain his typical power punch output. And the more technically sound fighter won, and that's what you would anticipate when you have a guy who can take a punch and give it back. I think Fury is unappreciated. I'm not a fan of him, but historically speaking, like I said in my post in the group, he saved us from the worst heavyweight era of all time, and we
He's
should all be grateful for that.
it's hard to me when I start talking about historic people. It's hard for me to compare these super heavyweights ushered in by
Oh
the
yeah.
era of Lennox Lewis to like the Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, that era. Even George Foreman was a big guy. Like these guys are so big. It's just like
Mhm.
they probably would win if they fought the guys in the 70s just because they're so much bigger. But does that make them greater fighters, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And for Fury's skill set and being as big as he is, I think you could make a case that he's if you put him in line with like heavyweights and like went by like actual skill, the ability to slip punches, to counter his hand speed, overall ring generalship, you could put him in the top 5 category, honestly, for that division. Like I don't have a problem with that argument. I mean, people have to understand this man is 6'9",
Yeah.
270 something pounds, and he's like, you see him when he moving and stuff. You
I
see the stamina. He
yeah.
went to a party afterwards.
Dancing bear.
Like
He's a
this is
dancing bear.
yeah. He
That's,
went
that's your worst
yeah.
nightmare. A big dude that can move is your worst nightmare. And for some reason, he's got this stamina, even doesn't look like he should. He just was made to box. He was born to
Mhm.
box.
Yeah. So it was I think it was a good show. Good for the division, good for the sport.
And are the Cowboys back? I've been holding off on this one, but another impressive win in Big D. Are we back?
Honestly, think you are, but Amari Cooper might have fucked it up for everybody because he was
Always.
talking about it. Yeah, it's on NFL.com. It was like I was looking at the headline before I logged on, and he said thinking Super Bowl after 4-1 start.
Jesus.
Like,
Hey,
damn,
jinx
man,
me.
Amari.
Anybody
But I love every single thing I see out the Cowboys. I have not one complaint other than Diggs is not James.
They're struggling to find their footing
Sorry
here
about
in
that.
2020. It's not the
TV.
same
I better
defense.
out the TV, but as I'm missing the game right now. But gosh, the worst thing about this is we've been Charlie Brown to life and the NFL's Lucy so many times. I'm so nervous that all of this is just gonna cave. I would be satisfied with like 2 playoff wins or either go to the um well, it depends on where we are, but 2 playoff wins and go to the NFC Championship game. That would be good for me. I know people are gonna trip and they're gonna troll when we finally lose, but that's fine. That's progress. But I got a feeling they just gonna muck it up like in the first round of playoffs or something. And what I really hate, shout out to Kareem Lewis, I think that's his last name, but he's got one of those long Facebook names that people put in there, like Kareem doing great in the country. Lewis. But anyway, so it's hard to remember his name. But he was at gym. He's like, man, I think y'all got the team. And it's all these other NFC East fans throwing, they're throwing, they're bowing down to the Cowboys. That troubles me. That troubles me. They're like, this might be y'all year. No, man, don't do that. Give me the hate. Give me the jinx. Give me the 10-year-old memes. Don't mess with our juju. It's this reverse psychology shit that they're trying to pull on us. I'm not having it.
I mean, let's be real though. I've been high on you guys all year. I have you number one in my power rankings for like the ATS stuff and like gambling. But I mean, from an X's and O's standpoint, what honestly is the weakness of the Cowboys right now outside of your coach? I mean, the execution on both sides of the ball is just perfection right now. And as long as everybody stays healthy, like your key players, I don't see how you could not be favored to go far in the playoffs and potentially be a Super Bowl contender. Like, how long we got to wait till we acknowledge that?
I need to wait till we in the Super Bowl. Then I'll call it Super Bowl
Well,
contender.
I understand you as a Cowboy fan, but I'm talking about general public. Like,
they don't remember
like
when we was 13-3 under Jason Garrett and lost to the Giants in the playoffs after a bye week. They don't remember that kind of stuff. They don't remember that.
Yeah, but they also don't remember Dak Prescott being Black Brady for real, because that man was playing real well. Even his bad game was probably yesterday, and he still did well. Like, I mean, you got Zeke going, you got your run game going, you got plenty of weapons on offense that are being utilized to the max. And then defensively, yeah, it's a defense that has a lot of young names, but they're performing and they're playing with some high energy. And it seems like a team that is just in sync top to bottom within the game. Like, not talking about the organization, but like your offense is in sync with the play calling and the coaching. Your defense is in sync with the play calling and coaching. Like, everything is just perfect right now. And you can't even be like, well, they haven't played nobody. Shit. They played the Bucks. They played the Chargers. They took the Panthers when the Panthers were supposed to be one of the better teams. And then they smacked the two opponents in the division that you expect them to dominate a division like this. So if they play the John Does and smack them too, then what do we have left? Like, what do you have left? They've already played the arguably the two best teams in the NFC, or two of the best teams. They're just missing the Rams and the Cardinals at this point.
Yeah. We have our friend Jay Holler versus Saquon Barkley. Now, Jay Holler and the Scatback Chronicles, as he calls it, had been absent because Saquon had been balling. But Saquon did what Saquon does. For a man whose lower body is so, I don't know, I want to say, I don't want to sound, I don't want to have pause moments. But let's just say that there are Mike Mayock things. There are Mike Mayock things going on in his lower body. So, but how does he always hurt?
Look, man, that last injury was a freak accident, man. It could happen to anybody. I mean, granted, we don't see people on the football field rolling their ankles by stepping on somebody's foot.
But only how often that's a basketball injury.
Yeah. But I mean, let's just be real. Saquon got a lot of Reggie Bush in him, man. Amazing talent, but he can't stay healthy, and it's unfortunate that it keeps happening like that. But hopefully he can recover and come back. And I don't even know how do you it's hard to get over like being injury prone. It's
Yeah, I
like
don't know
how
how
do
to
you
do
prevent
it
that?
other than the only person. Well, another person I can think of immediately is Steph in a different sport, and he did. I mean, he did a lot of stretching and exercises and therapy and things for his ankles. But so like Saquon, it can happen with anything lower body. He just sometimes I think those guys are so like bottom heavy that it's like
Mhm.
too much for their body. Maybe I don't know, but it's weird. But I'm no physician. These are just theories I got here. But Holla loves to troll Saquon at any chance he gets, and he went on a bumping spree because everybody was so high on Saquon is like the greatest prospect to come out. But honestly, with Saquon, he just got drafted by the wrong damn team. Injuries aside, like those games where he only gets 0 yards, get the Giants, he went to possibly the shittiest organization in the whole NFL. They're running neck and neck with the Jets and the John Does, and I respect the Giants organization overall, but they're a dumpster fire.
No respect for the Giants organization. You know, I'm gonna say a bunch of goofy ass people that just got lucky. They lucked up and got 2 Super Bowls. Both years that they won the Super Bowls, I don't think anybody expected them to even make
No.
the damn playoffs, and they did. So,
I'll always
congratulations
respect
on that.
Bill Parcells,
But,
is my favorite
but
part. So I'll
yeah, I
respect.
was gonna say you thinking Parcells and Lawrence Taylor, and that's fucking 30 years ago. So,
It's a long time ago. I feel like the NFC, they should be good. The Cowboys should be good. I don't care if the John Does are good. The Eagles should come up every now and then and be good too. But that's just my nostalgia for the NFC East. And the story that we didn't quite lead with, but we got the most amazing, crazy breaking news: the Gruden email scandal. I thought it was just going to be about DeMar Smith and his big lips, but evidently Gruden used the F bomb for homosexuals. He called he called who was it? Michael Sam. He said that Jeff Fisher was being pressured into hiring or drafting queers in reference to Michael Sam. He's straight up. We can say it on this podcast, and I'm not using a derogatory. I never use this word. I'm not judging you. Well, yeah, I am judging you if you do, but I'm not like in a high and mighty way. But he called he called Goodell a faggot. I mean, just unreal.
yeah, I got a text from my friend who the New York Times is saying that Gruden's behavior was not limited to 2011. Gruden exchanged emails with Bruce Allen and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms, including one photo of 2 Washington team cheerleaders. That man will never work in the NFL again. Okay, it's unfortunate because I always think of Gruden as being the guy who really helped Randall Cunningham exceed expectations and transformed him into the playmaker that all of us grew up to love. QB1, baby. That was my guy on Tecmo Bowl, but God damn, Gruden. Like you can't come back from this in no era, honestly, especially not now. And
Yeah, you
and I
couldn't do
get
that.
people like cancel culture.
Come back from that. I mean,
Yeah,
this is tough stuff.
like
Like nobody was okay with that.
it just keeps
Maybe in
getting
like
worse.
1980, maybe in the 80s or 90s, you might have been able to do this, but not at any time. Like, God, yeah, just there's a lot going on here. This is not cancel culture. This is somebody fucking up, and it caught up.
Yeah, I just man, like how fucked up are the John Does as an organization that they're even getting people like collaterally excommunicated? Like, yeah, how does Dan Snyder keep his like position as an owner after all of this? Like, how? How does this not fall back on him in some kind of
Somehow,
way?
somehow he's able to do it. Somehow he's always able to. Somehow he's always able to. He's always able to like dodge it. So, oh, you know what? It never touches him. So, you know what I'll do? I will hire a black man, and I will hire a lady to do commentary, and also as an executive, and I let my wife, wink, wink, take over the team. Snyder, man, money makes the world go round.
I was prepared to make fun of Mark Davis in this podcast, and now I feel sorry for the guy. Like God, he finally almost got something right. You know, the Raiders start out what 3-0, look pretty good, and what they're 3-2 and lost coach now. Reality just hurts sometimes, I guess.
This guy, Mike Freeman, who I follow on there, who sometimes gives, sometimes not. He says, I will say this. I find it interesting that out of the hundreds of thousands of emails being examined from the Washington investigation, only the Gruden emails are leaked. And he wasn't on the team. Somebody got a grudge against John Gruden, or maybe even his brother, which was if it was because of his brother and they were trying to get payback or something. But somebody saw this from this investigation, and this is what they're choosing to leak. That's interesting too.
Isn't the league doing the investigation?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, I thought don't they have a guy that was under investigation for something, or I don't know where these are actually leaking from, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure this investigation stems from the intern, like the NFL investigating the cheerleading stuff, on all that. I think this is separate. Harassment. Yeah, it's separate of the FBI investigation. Okay. I mean, you call Goodell a faggot, man, you get what you get, bro. Just saying, like, you ain't protected. Like, that's just what it ultimately boils down to. This, like,
football pussy. How old are
you? Yeah.
By the way, but
and
you're 50 years, 40 years old, but whatever.
And the email or the articles today were saying that the NFL was waiting to act, but I guess somebody decided to leak a little bit more information, like, yo, you need to do something right now. So here we are. Resigning is the best way to go. The Nixon way is the best way to go in situations like this.
They even went after Caitlyn Jenner. He just hit everything. He's going after the trans now too. He hit the blacks, he hit the gays, he hit the trans, and he went after.
Hold on. He didn't really hit us, yo. Like, they need to stop that. Like, what he said wasn't right, but he didn't really hit us like he's hitting Michael Sam and.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not horrible. It's not a 10. It's just a 5. He even made fun of the female referees.
Don't let them get Jerry's emails. That's all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I hope Jerry don't ever send email. I mean, they need to be just somebody else needs to type them. He needs to have after a couple of shots of Johnny Walker. What is he? He's not even black. He's like Johnny Walker Blue or something. Jerry's on that high stuff. They can't find it at the store. But yeah, Gruden is out in Oakland. Kind of shocking. But this man went from being one of the most beloved and respected coaches of all time, not by merit, to just being now he's a pariah. It's crazy how quick that can turn.
Life comes at you fast, man. Look, here's my rule of thumb, people, and you can take it to the bank here. Don't say no shit you wouldn't say to somebody's face or be willing to repeat without being under oath. I'll tell you exactly what I said, and I'll say it again, because that's just how I am. It's not me trying to be like I'm a badass. I just stand by what I say. So if I offended you, I'm sorry, not sorry. Like, if I said something that offends somebody, it's typically because it needed to be said. So that's why I just stand with what I say. But you can't be running around talking about people like this. And then when it comes out in public, even his fucking statement was awful. Yeah. Like what? Dude. And for the love of God, people, stop with the fucking childish shit with women and just calling people dumb shit like faggots and stuff like that. Like, grow up, man. Like, what the fuck? You can make fun of people without it being hurtful.
Yeah, I don't understand. But moving on, he doesn't deserve too much about it. The Texas and OU game. Oh man, I get so much glory in Texas almost gotten it. I mean, they played over their heads and then they regressed back to the mean very quickly. Like, I went to the gym and they were up, whatever they were up, 28-3, 28-10. I worked out for about an hour. It was like a 10, 14-point game. By the time I did my 30-minute drive home, Oklahoma was winning. It just happened kind of quick. One trip to the gym and back home, and Oklahoma was winning. And Texas gonna Texas. And the only question is, what week do you think Sark will start drinking again?
Man, if he didn't drink out the last week, man, I don't know, bro. Like, god dang. Not only did you lose, but you got like Kirby Smarted. Like Jalen Hurts went out and Tua came in at halftime and boom, like what just happened to us?
Yeah, that is crazy.
And just And the sad part is, in college chat, we do a lot of talking about people and prospects and stuff. I mean, I've been saying Rattler sucks. You don't like Rattler. A lot of us don't like Rattler that actually watch the games. So when he came in and made that run, I want to screenshot it and send it to you. I was livid. I was like, fuck. Now Lincoln knows that he's better. Like I knew he was better. Everybody knew he was better, but everybody but Lincoln. And when you seen that run, you're like, God damn, I got something here. And sure enough, Rattler never got back in except for that 2-point conversion. Spencer Rattler is done.
In a college program, the crowd begging for a backup a couple weeks earlier, if not the week before. It's amazing. But a lot of times,
Rattler's done at
OU. A lot of times with college, the coaches believe in loyalty, and they told the guys certain things. They don't want to give up on them because of the relationship. It's not quite as cutthroat as the NFL. Because anytime I see Coach K, I remember he let Trajan Langdon dribble national championship on the line against Connecticut. He let Trajan Langdon dribble the ball up the floor and take the last shot, and then the team was loaded, and all he was a shooter, not off the dribble. And Coach Shea said he deserved it. He was our leader. How about you call some strategy and not coach with your feelings?
I just don't understand, man.
I don't either. We had some NBA players, and I think you said it best. 18 former NBA players have been arrested and charged federally with defrauding the NBA's health and welfare benefit plan out of approximately $4 million. But I think you said it. If somebody else said it, I apologize. I would give credit to you if I remember. But nobody's name, nobody who's on that list, that name does not surprise me. Somebody, you said
I said it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah.
We got
not surprising.
Tony Allen. I'm a little surprised by that. Tony Allen, Big Baby, Sebastian Telfair, among Jamario Moon, among some of the notables. But basically what they were doing, and some of it was just dumb. Like they were filing these insurance claims and they weren't getting the procedures done. For one instance, there was a dental claim that one of them filed, and he was playing ball in Tawan. So, like, it's not even intelligent enough to be in the same city as when you filed the claim, man. Just sloppy. That's how they called him. It was just that sloppy.
Yeah, and honestly, all them dudes would stick you up in a dice game or a card game, invite you over for a cookout, play you in Madden, and then rob you. Like, it's expected.
I'm honestly surprised Zach Randolph is not part of it. I hate to say that about you, Zach Randolph, but I'm a little surprised. But hey, I'm glad you stayed out of trouble, bro. Glad you stayed out of trouble. We had some fun.
Zebo game. Wait, hold on. Before we go, the Zebo was good with his money. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably why he don't need it. But Zebo would do some shady stuff. Zebo would do some shady stuff. But it's more physical violence, so maybe I apologize. Zebo's not. But usually, if you're willing to take your boys over there and beat some people up, you might be found with some insurance fraud. Those are the same world. Sorry. Couple fines. Ian Harrison, one of the men probably with the most all-star mutes in his pocket. He fined Derek Michael basically because it started out, Derek Michael, he loves Jason Tatum. So something was posted, and he posted a picture of Tatum, and then they basically responded, was like, hey, he's never gonna lift a Larry O'Brien trophy, because there was a picture of Jason Tatum's arm saying he had big guns or whatever, because they had a Luka post that showed his guns off or whatever. And so this man literally posted the size of the Larry O'Brien trophy, which is 16 pounds, and said, of course he can lift it. It's only 16 pounds. And he said that was his sense of humor. He tried to appeal to me and said, RC understands my sense of humor. Bro, you were dead serious. My man said, any normal human adult could quite handily lift the Larry O'Brien trophy, as it weighs 16 pounds. Please refer to image. Therefore, your first statement was erroneous and nonsensical. That might be a joke. But then, number two, he says, although I understood where you were coming from, please know you are absolutely 100% completely, he put the asterisks in here, fucking wrong. And I wish I could temporarily turn off your freedom of speech so that you could get legally arrested for saying those words. That part, I feel like he's not joking that much. And then ironically, a dude with no all-star mutes in the clip is saying he wants somebody to get muted. Not a wise decision. Good job, Ian. Even though one of my favorite Ringer guys is Derek Michael. But sad to see you go, bro.
All these ringer people are a blight on the group.
Except for
If we gotta get them in there to get to 5,000, I want to keep it at 3,500. And I know we're over 4,000, but that's getting rid of the rest of y'all too. The only ringer person we need is Sebastian. I've been saying this shit for years, but yeah, we keep getting new ringer people.
Childish is a ringer.
Ryan Laser Nick is gotten to the point now. The algorithm is taking care of him. I don't understand
It
shit.
really is. It really is. Some of these people, I keep telling guys, I was like, delete that or you will get zucked. Like I keep telling them, it's like, you don't want to get, like, I'm so used to seeing everything that I know what I usually get. I'm just like, come on, man, delete that. I'm not going to delete it, but you delete it before you get zucked. I actually think I said, today I wrote something like, I would have given him a shot or something. I got scared. I deleted it because it's so literal in the way they interpret it. It's ridiculous. Facebook is out of control. Somebody got to regulate this shit. Hopefully, I don't know if that'll be a good or a bad thing when the government comes in to regulate. But
man, last time somebody tried to regulate this shit, it got shut down. Leave it alone. All right. Hey, but look, in the group though, for real, there's only two people in this group that have worse impulse control than me. That's Lurby Hollywood and Dupree Johnson. Them motherfuckers don't give it.
You know what though?
They are habitual.
Tony Mays coming off a 30-day suspension is right there with him.
Tony be getting him up for the dumbest thing.
You're right. He don't deserve. He's showing me what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's getting caught on the literal monster that they're doing it because he's not. I mean, he's using a sports term that kind of sort of is violent if you're not looking using it as a sports term, and he's getting muted. But he's back. Stay strong, my man, Tony. All right, we have another mute. I don't understand why. Remember that dude that cursed me out and said I look like Maurice Chestnut and also look like Carlos Boozer?
Yeah, and we were all like, "How the fuck you look like Carlos Boozer?"
I don't get it.
But
he's I forgot to take him out and I muted him for 28 days, and he's back just talking. People are weird. Why would you stay in the group after all that? You still want to stay in the group after the mute, after everything? Because on my computer, either my phone or my computer, it's harder to remove people. So I'll mute him for 28 days and come back to him. He's still back in the group, commenting like nothing happened. People are weird. This guy, Tavares, or what is his name? Let's see what his name is. Tavius Lewis. I muted him in 3 days because I'm not. It was that he had to take a shot.
You muted Tavius?
Yes. He took a shot at Brady. It wasn't about Brady, but how could you hate on Brady? No, don't do that. He says, I'm more in response to Brady's first 400 passing yard day, 400 passing yards and 5 passing TDs. He says, I'm more stunned this dude has never had a 400 yard plus 5 TD passing game until this. He was fine because even Mike Tirico was like, I'm not sure. You know, I would have thought he would have done this by now. But he added on his 80th year in the league. Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to dismiss Brady?
Because it's true, bro. This Benjamin Buttonhead ass dude, man. Even his wife the age.
Most time he was in the damn league, it's almost impossible to do, or half the time, it's almost impossible to do damn 405 touchdowns because the league wasn't solved. In the last 10 years, he's played for Belichick, who probably doesn't even want him to get it, and definitely didn't give him the kind of weapons. Everybody see this guy's receivers. Most of the years he was in there, he ain't throwing the Wes Welkers right now. He ain't throwing the Junior Edelmans and making those people stars. He's throwing the studs that are real NFL receivers.
I knew the Patriots were cheating when people really thought Julian Edelman belonged in the Hall of Fame. Okay, to get something like that in the conversation for Hall of Fame is absolutely cheating.
They really were trying to say that. That's just
it's going to take Tom Brady to kiss his son on the mouth after his 20th year he's already 20 years in. After his 40th year in the NFL, because he threw a pass to that son, they're going to celebrate by kissing on the mouth, and then you'll finally admit that something's a little weird about how good Tom Brady is at the age of 85. You literally you're blinded by this. I know you like great players and everything, but if Wilt Chamberlain played till he was in his 50s, you would have questioned some shit with that.
Bro,
I'm just saying.
Like a random stat that and he played for a team that wasn't trying to pass it like that all the time. I mean, it's just different. I mean, but the little insult at the end was too much. All right, and then he inboxes me and says, "Make it 28 days if I can't question blah 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 blah." No, bitch. How about I will make it 28 days? How about that?
I like Tavius, man. He's team nickel, bro. You always coming down hard on the black dudes. You don't do shit to these white people.
Oh yeah, I don't do shit.
You be sitting
I
around. You go out to the white people that don't have any friends in the group, man. Like they don't have no affiliation. Nobody's claiming John Mabry or whatever his name is, man.
I have a month devoted to kicking them out. Please. I go after them. I call them racist all the time, or I used to.
Shortest month in the year you give to kicking out white people. I don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, I didn't.
You created kicking them out.
Well, it doesn't make sense to do it in March.
It makes perfect sense to do it in March. Matter of fact, it makes perfect sense to do it every month that has 31 fucking days.
They need to have a special. I didn't make Black History, but they need to have a special reverence for us that month. That's what I'm trying to enforce.
I don't want white people kissing up to me, bro. Just fix my credit score.
No, I don't need kissing up. I just need I mean, you can revere me in silence. All right, stand by your man. Stand by your man. That award goes to Shelly. Is it Shelly? Shelly Meyer. She says of urban escapades. She said, "We're all sinners." Look, Shelly, baby. Look, you still got your looks. I'm not hating on you. I know you were at the house, watching the grandkids, tweeting while your man was doing what he was doing. If you need a place to drown your sorrows, if you need a place to have a shoulder to cry on, I am here, Shelly. We fall down, but we get up. But when they sin, you can sin too. God's all right with it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, Shelly. I need to see the receipts, man. I need to see how much Urban making before we do this thing that we talking about right here, because I got standards. All right.
I mean, just all right. I ain't talking about for a long time. I'm just talking about a good time.
Bro, Urban was sticking his finger up some random chick's butt.
Oh, that's
man.
true. You don't know what it did, but I think I don't think Herb out there like that on the regular, man. He was just having a hard time. He's not used to this kind of failure. I mean, he hasn't lost 4 times in the season.
told me that man used to
like
find drown his sorrows in prayer. What is he doing now?
Look, David sinned, people sin, Abraham sinned. It's in the Bible, bro. It's in the Bible. We fall down, we get up. Shoot, these people worship Trump. Urban is the least their words. Urban is a god. He's a saint compared to some of the people these fools love. Oh my gosh, poor Shelly. But it's so funny but Urban is the biggest beneficiary of this John Gruden stuff. He got a praying grandmother, as Black folks used to say, because nobody cares about Urban anymore. And everybody's gonna be on Gruden in the news cycle for a good week.
They already running it on halftime on ESPN.
Oh yeah, they can't stop. Randy Moss was out there crying last night. That was a little bit. Oh, yesterday during the day. That was a little bit much for somebody saying somebody had big. Come on, man. Like, do they pay these people to be this dramatic? He was that offended by a John Gruden comment in 2011. That was, I mean, obviously it's like got some racial overtones, but to me, it wasn't overtly racist, but it had overtones. But I'm not crying over that.
Honestly, man, I'm not crying over it either, but I am a believer that I can't tell people what offends them and what doesn't offend them. I'm speaking on like me personally. I don't know, maybe again, growing up where I grew up, I'm a little desensitized to some things, and I just don't find that.
Growing up where he grows up, he should have been desensitized to it too. You ever seen Randy?
I know. I was trying to give it. Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. I really was trying to give him the benefit. I don't know. I don't know that man's life and what he done went through, what touched him and made him feel like he needed to shed some tears on it. I've never cried over racism. I just get angry and I'll smack the shit out of you, and that's just how I handle it. I'm not everybody, I'm more Nat Turner than anything, and some people are just they want to hold hands and kumbaya. And I'm just like, all right, well, like Demarius said in his statement, more or less, if you read between the lines, bitch, you ain't say it to my face. So all right, say what you want to say, but you're not gonna say it to my face. And that's how I read it. And I was like, that's how I feel too. Like I know, everyday life, people saying shit from time to time, and that's cool. Just don't think you're gonna say it to my face and it's gonna be cool. And that's just whatever, yo. Like that's how I always be to the day I die.
Back to the
But God bless Randy.
back to the Gruden
It's
thing.
okay,
Real
Randy.
quick. I don't think I said this, and if I did, I apologize. But in 2011, texting was alive and well. They could have just texted this shit. That's the worst thing. They could have just texted. They were sending this by email or even on the phone. But why did you send an email to the team email account to discuss this? Just so dumb. So dumb.
I'm deleting our group chat right now.
Yeah,
I don't trust shit.
Damn. I wouldn't want to see the group chat in there, but whatever. They violating a lot of laws. You see, I start stuttering even thinking about it. But they violate a lot of privacy laws. Comment of the week. This might have been the not greatest comment, but the most liked comment of all time. I've never seen a comment get 30 likes. Very suspect picture of Kyle Kuzma, I guess, in the steam room. I guess that's what this looks like. He looks like he's posing for. Well, I guess it could be Playboy, considering they had a gay guy on top of on the cover, but definitely looks like a Playgirl magazine cover. And I'm not saying this to be homophobic. I believe that gay people should be made fun of just like everybody else. And this pose looks like he's baiting himself for some kind of grooming for a man. But whatever, that's your thing. That's your thing. But that's what it looks like. All right. And Tom Kernan said, of course, that Dwight Howard liked that. And Dwight Howard did like the picture by Kyle Kuzma.
Oh my God. I didn't see that. That's hilarious. Hey, look, I honestly, when I was scrolling through the group the day somebody posted it, and I swear to you, I thought it was a WNBA chick. I was like, yo, Brittany, I was like, Brittany Gruden got all kind of people out here just posing with their tats and stuff. Like, I'm scrolling because I'm like, yo, WNBA just had that fight with the girls from Atlanta. So I was like, oh, they just trying to have some good publicity. I looked at you and said, Kyle Kuzma. I kept scrolling, man. I was like, duh.
And something I find funny, and I guess I could get canceled. Yeah, I put my finger, my air quotes up. But I find it hilariously funny when somebody's unintentionally acting gay. If you're gay and that's your way, hey, more power to you. I give you a pass. That's your culture. That's your thing. But when you're a dude and you're trying to look a certain way, appeal to a certain way, and you end up acting in a way that we would say but looks gay, I find that funny. Sue me. I'm not involved or whatever, but that's hilarious. And it's hilarious that Dwight Howard liked it. And it's hilarious that that Tom Kernan pointed it out. It's the same thing. Like if I was thirsty after, Dwight Howard, if it was a picture of Adele or Joy Taylor and I liked it, people make fun of me for liking snow bunnies. They always hit that. So like that girl that was doing the dance at the Minnesota game, they were like, hey, did you get her number? Like, so to me, that's the same thing. But I don't know where we are. Sam's of the world and Joe's of the world might not approve, but whatever.
No comment.
I had kind of a cool thing we were going to do, but I think I'll save it for next week because I think I didn't really time it, but I think we started around 9:00. But next week, I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to do the pressers on behalf of a fan base. I was going to put you on the spot, but I'm not going to put you on
the spot. Fuck yeah. I can't wait to do that, bro.
That'd be fun. But I think I want to adhere to the 45, 50-minute limit. So I did start the timer. So I think we started at 9:00. So do you have anything you want to plug?
The college football show this week will be Call-In, but it's by video. I'm gonna post the link on Thursday. The show starts at 9. It's open to all college football fans in the sports group, and then the random people that might be on my friends list. But yeah, just hit the link and join the show and come vent. I know a lot of people got complaints.
You should know it all by now, but subscribe to the IB Network podcast feed rate us and subscribe to it. Share the word. If you want to watch us on YouTube, you can do that. We have a lot of different places where you can follow us. I'll try to pump those out, and just continue to support the brand. And for Actively Lazy, I am the commish asking you, do you have a minute, fam?